If you've recently graduated or you're looking for a new job, one of the best things that you can do is start reaching out to new people and really build your network. But how do you actually network your way to a job? Fortunately, we are joined by a special guest today who's going to talk to us about some of the best networking tips. Nice to see you, Laura.
You too, Lauren.
All right, well, Laura, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Sure, I'm Laura Youngkin. I'm the Senior Director of Production for the Museum of Ice Cream and Figure 8, and I'm an entertainment producer.
Amazing. We're so happy you're here.
Thanks, me too.
Hi Contessas, welcome back. I'm Laura McGoodwin, founder and CEO of Career Contessa, the only career site built for women. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel because we drop videos weekly. We want to hear from you. Have you ever networked your way into a job? Let us know in the comments below. All right, let's get into it. Here are Laura's 5 tips for networking your way into a job. Tip number 1, get your personal branding in order, digital and analog. All right, Laura, so tell us why personal branding is so important.
We live in a digital world now, and so everybody can see anything about you pretty much at any time. So of course your resume and your business cards need to look fantastic, but all of your platforms, all of your profiles need to be up to date, consistent, have the most relevant information, and you need to look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you're saying don't just only do LinkedIn. You have to do all of the networks.
No, although some people, it still surprises me, some people are still skipping LinkedIn. You cannot skip LinkedIn.
That's the number one you can't skip.
It's very important. You need to have a great photo. You need to have all of the most relevant and up-to-date information. It needs to be truthful.
Yes.
Make sure you have references. That's all a given. But if you've got a website, a public Instagram, anything else, Twitter, you name it, it all needs to be consistent and reflect who you are.
Yeah, I completely agree. Tip number 2, take an inventory of who you already know. All right, Laura, so why do we need to take inventory of who we already know if we already know them?
Well, we know a lot of people, and after you've been in the professional world for a while, your network is going to grow, and it feels sometimes overwhelming and impossible to stay on top of all of those relationships.
Right.
But it's really important, especially if you're looking for a new job, to take stock of who you already know in that industry and see if they might be able to help you or give you some guidance.
Right.
I like to use the holidays as a time to reconnect with people I haven't seen in maybe a year or 2 years. I always send them a note, say hey, and then usually that results in a lunch meeting or just getting together in January or February.
Catching up.
It's really important to continue to nourish those relationships.
And when you send these notes, it's via email?
Yeah, it's always via email. Sometimes I'll send out a Christmas card, a digital Christmas card, and I'll get a few responses. But if it's not the holidays, don't worry. It could be the middle of the summer. But I think email is a great way of just reconnecting. Make sure it's brief and to the point, but always authentic.
Yeah, it's a great way to stay top of mind too.
Absolutely.
Tip number 3, take stock of who you need to know to make your next move. Okay, so this is the one that I think people are going to be really interested in is who do you need to connect with when you know what you want to do next?
So this is the time that you do your research. If you've got a target company or a target part of the industry that you want to get into, you probably need more relationships at that company, even if it's the company you already work at, in order to cultivate your next move. So I think it's really important to take informational meetings. You need to keep track of these informational meetings, but do your research and reach out to people. This could be internal or external, and then I like to make a spreadsheet. I track all the informational meetings. I take notes on what was discussed, any advice, if they connect me with other people. I track if I've followed up on those things. And then, of course, especially if it's somebody you're meeting for the first time and they're giving you their time or expertise, you always send a thank you note.
Always.
Always. Always, always. If it's a job interview, that's a handwritten thank you note. If it's an in-person interview with somebody more senior than you, it's a handwritten thank you note. I think you'll know when an email is okay. But no matter what, you always follow up to say thanks.
Tip number 4, don't be afraid of cold outreach. Everyone's already afraid of cold outreach, so why should we not be afraid?
You can't be afraid of cold outreach because it's just how business gets done.
Yes.
If I had been afraid of cold outreach, I would have never been able to launch my career and end up where I am now. It's really important that you just push through the fear of reaching out to somebody that you don't know or someone that you can't get a warm introduction to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think cold outreach too, people are afraid of like what happens if they don't reach back out or they don't reply, and it's like, well, then you're no worse off than you were before.
You haven't lost anything, but always make sure that your cold outreach is appropriate for the person. It's very approachable, it's brief and to the point.
Yes, and tailored. Like they want to know why them, why are you talking to me versus somebody else?
Absolutely.
Tip number 5, try to cultivate a genuine love for other people. this is one of those things where it seems sort of obvious. You need to like other people to network, but the key word here is genuine.
Absolutely. It really helps if you can cultivate a genuine love for getting to know other people and building relationships with them. I mean, that's what this is all about. So if you view networking as just names and business cards and
kind of icky,
collecting contacts, you're really not using your network properly. I think it's important to go into whether it's a networking event or a meeting or an alumni networking thing, you really need to go in wanting to like other people and genuinely listen to what they have to say. Ask questions, get to know them. Those relationships are going to take you to the next level.
I think you can always tell too when people show up to an event and they don't want to be there. They're not approachable, they're not warm, and so you have to truly have that mindset in the right place before you get there.
Right, you're there to make friends in a sense, because we all like helping our friends, right? And people that we like. It's really important to just generate that genuine affection for other people and build those relationships.
Right. You have to have this be part of your long-term relationship building situation versus short-term transactional networking.
Absolutely. And we all know the power of loose connections, so you don't have to be everybody's best friend, but we like to help other people that we like no matter how well we know them. Loose connections are really powerful too. So just go in, be friendly, and ask great questions.
So those are 5 tips for networking your way into a job. Laura, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your tips. Where can people find you if they want more information?
You're so welcome. If you're interested in learning more about how to cultivate an amazing network or maybe negotiate a raise for yourself, you can check out my blog at Forbes.com.
If you need help keeping track of your networking, download our free networking tracker resource. That's linked in the description below. Have you ever networked your way to a job? We really want to know what worked for you, what tips you use, so tell us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel because we drop videos weekly.